All right, so here's something kind of new I'm gonna try. This is a beef heart. It's been split open right here, so imagine you can roll it back over. It actually kind of has a little bit of a heart shape. I've made videos before where I was cooking a beef heart, and I would just slice it randomly, however, to make little steaks with it, and then do those steaks on the grill. But today, I'm gonna try to do it more like a roast, and so I'm just gonna use this Traeger beef roast recipe here. It calls for 3 to 3.5 pound roast. This is about a 2.5 pound heart, I think is what it said on the package. But I want to show you this. It's interesting, you know, compared to other meat, it's a real deep red. It makes sense. It's been pumping all your blood, all the cow's blood. Man, it's still got a little bit of ice on it, even after 2 days in the fridge, 3 days in the fridge. But they've split it open. They've cleaned it up a little bit. You still see a little bit of these little, you know, looks like arteries. Those, when you cook it, those kind of disappear. On the outside, we've got a nice thick layer of fat. So it's a very different textured meat. It looks kind of like almost like a brisket with these chunks of fat on the outside. But the grain to it, if you can see it, it's almost non-existent. There's not really a real obvious grain. It's just this real soft meat. When I've cooked it before, you know, I would venture to say it's almost rubbery, but not in a bad way rubbery. It's like it's chewy but tender. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's not real tough, but it's also not like gonna melt in your mouth, you know. I don't know, maybe like the consistency almost of like a summer sausage or something. I don't know how to really explain it, but anyway, different than what most people would expect. But real deep red meat, and surprisingly tender considering, you know, as much as this muscle works. Yeah, sorry, I had to get on to the kids there for a second. They get to fighting over who gets to watch cartoons. They're all watching cartoons. Anyway, so yeah, it's surprisingly tender for as much as this muscle works. So like I said, I'm gonna do it like the beef roast here. I'm gonna dry it off with paper towels, coat it in oil, and then I'm just gonna use the Traeger coffee rub, and we'll throw it on the smoker and just cook it, you know, kind of low and slow for a few hours. And we'll be, you know, relying on our temperature probe. So I'm going to get it all coated down with seasoning here, and then we'll get it thrown on the smoker. All right, so I think I forgot my shameless plug, but this is, again, from Good Life Grass Farms. You know, good looking beef here, good looking heart. I'm looking forward to giving it this new little test on cooking it. So we just got her seasoned up real well here on the back side, and I'm gonna cook it fat side up. So as that fat starts to melt, hopefully it'll melt down through the meat a little bit. And then seasoned up again on the bottom side. I kind of rubbed it in a little bit already. We'll give her a little bit more with this coffee rub. Yeah, because I rubbed it in, and then of course it all seems like it's stuck to your hands. So we got the grill going right now, warming up, preheating. We're gonna let it get up as hot as it'll go, about 450. We'll sear it for about 25 to 30 minutes. And then we'll drop it down to 225, and then we'll just let it go as long as it wants to go until it hits about, you know, about 135, 140 on the inside. So, and that's just, again, depending on your preference. It says here 135 is a medium rare, 155 is well done. So I'll have to watch it closely when it gets up there. I don't know that I want a medium rare heart, but then again, I don't know why that would be a problem. So anyway, we're waiting on the grill to preheat now, and then we'll get it thrown on. All right, we got the smoker up to temp now. It's about 415. It's just boiling out smoke because I need to clean it. Actually, it normally wouldn't smoke this hard, especially not burning this hot. But I had cooked some chicken, and that chicken just seems to drip so much grease and fat, it makes a real big mess. So we're just rolling smoke out of here, which, yeah, is not normal, but it's good and hot. It'll clean up as it keeps burning that stuff off. We're gonna go ahead and throw this on. Oh yeah, here's sizzle. All right, 25 to 30 minutes to sear it, and then we'll be back to lower the temp. All right, that looks pretty seared if I know anything. Now let's take our temp down. 225, give her a couple more hours. Oh, look at that fat boiling off there. Wonderful. All right, well here it is off the smoker. I may have overdone it, I'm not sure. I seared it, you know, like I said, 450 for 40 minutes or so. And then I went and dropped the temperature to 225, and it was on 225 for maybe an hour. Not even that long, I don't think. And I went and stuck a meat probe in it, and it's already like 200 degrees on the inside. So, you know, it's supposed to be 135 for medium well, 155 for well done. So we shall see how dried out it is on the inside. But I figured I'd just show it to you here before I slice it. Looks good on the top, got a good crust on it. Looks good on the bottom. I'm not sure what that is. That doesn't really look like it got the smoke to it, but it looks cooked anyway. It's got a good pink to it from the smoke. So I'm going to let it rest here a couple minutes and I'll slice into it and see how it looks. Well, it's not crunchy anyway. So here we just cut into it. Got definitely a good smoke ring on it at least, and the meat, it's like I said, it's kind of almost like a rubbery texture. It's kind of weird. Some people don't like it because of that, but it's not crispy. Doesn't really feel dried out. Take a little bite here. Yeah, that's hard. It's not dried out at all. I'm trying to think how I could describe the flavor to you guys. Definitely got the smoke, or a little bit of the rub. Yeah, it's kind of like roast beef. Not like irony, not anything like liver. You even think it looks a little bit like liver. It doesn't taste anything like liver. That's pretty good. Definitely worth doing. I'll do it again. That's pretty good. Turned out better than the short ribs did. It seems like the fat that was on top seems to have cooked off really well. When it's seared, that fat cooked away really well and cooked into the meat. So it's pretty good. So just going through slicing it up, I'm just kind of cutting it like a brisket, I guess. You know, there's not really much of a grain to really follow or to cut across. But as I had, you know, that chunk, and as I pushed down on it with the fork, it shot out juice like a puddle. I don't know where it all went. It wicked it right back up. So I took a taste of a piece. I mean, it almost looked like blood coming out. It scared me for a second. But there's nothing in here that's raw or uncooked. But it was just kind of interesting. I don't know where that juice squirted out from. But yeah, it pulled it all right back in. So I took a sample of that piece right here where it was right in here where it squirted out. And yeah, it tastes great. You know, it doesn't taste bloody, doesn't taste raw. It's plenty well done. I just never seen it do that before. Of course, this is the first time I've smoked it as a roast. Every other time I've cut it into, you know, little baked steaks and cook it that way. So yeah, I'm happy with it. It still kind of has that kind of a strong beefy taste. It didn't take on much of the flavor of the rub. So if you're wanting more of that rub attribute, I don't know if I would need to inject it a little bit or what, but it's pretty good. It's worth doing again.